Just like in the show, Jenna, she had no choice. Her life was taken from her. John had a choice. He gave it up for Elena because of his love for her. Chuck Palahniuk, I think it's the way his name is pronounced, said, "We all die. The goal isn't to live forever. The goal is to create something that will." And that's one thing that I really like about this, is that we have these foundations and things that have been started, and these are things that are going to go on even after we're gone. You know, our kids and our grandkids is something they're going to look forward to. And I haven't told Raven this yet, but I have a book coming out later this year, and some of the proceeds are going to go to the Jenny Melton Fund, who was my best friend in high school who passed away, and the other set of proceeds are going to go to the ISF Kids Army for Virginia. So I'm really excited about that. And but back to this, you know, we all have a set time to die. I know that seems really grim to say, but like I said, I'm Pentecostal. I tend to say things like that. But it's inevitable. We all are going to die someday. And we may not know the time. We do not know the time that we're going to die, but we can prepare for it. Eternity is something that we should prepare for. It isn't a vacation, it's forever. I said before that I lost my faith in the church, and I know that the church has its rules and its beliefs, and you know, maybe some of you are like me, you were hurt. Maybe some of you have never even set foot in a church before. Maybe some of you, you know, you're turned off because of something you see in the people around you. You see the way people have acted. You were like me, you put your faith in the wrong people. But you know, I found faith in God, and I found faith in myself. I'm not a picture-perfect Christian. People may act like they are, but the truth is, we're all the same. I drink, I curse, I go to bars, I dance in clubs. I'm human, we all are. Don't feel like that you can't have a personal relationship with God because you feel like you're flawed in the eyes of the church. I've been sort of on the fence since leaving the ministry. I haven't felt worthy, to be honest with you. I kind of felt like a failure because I look back at the person that I was at 17, 18, 19, 20 when I got into the ministry, and I would look back at pictures and I hated that person that I saw because it wasn't me anymore. I saw this kid that was just so on fire for God. He would have, you know, ran up to you, done anything for you. I still will. But that's been my goal, is to get back to that place where I can find peace, and it's a struggle that I still battle with. And I'm really thankful for the Vampire Diaries, and I'm really thankful because, you know, God places people in your lives for a reason. And it got me back behind the pulpit. When I sat down to write this, I had no intention of saying any of this. You know, maybe a lot of you were expecting just to hear me say something nice about the cast and then just go on. You didn't expect me to just go on and on, but I feel that it's in my heart because I feel like someone here does need to hear it. Some of you may ask, you know, how do you know there is a God? I just know in my heart. I know that He's real, just like I know the sky is blue. I've had so much happen in my life for me not to have faith. When my life reached its lowest point, the only thing I had to get me through was faith. I've had some key people in my life that have helped me restore my faith in the church. Maybe some of you are like me and the media has turned you off. I don't know. I'll never forget hearing a reverend, I won't mention his name, but he said, "Never in my life have I met a man I want to marry. And if one ever looks at me that way, I'm going to kill him and tell God it was an accident." And I've gotten involved with Proposition 8. I've gotten involved with HRC. And I found my faith slowly back into the church, and I've realized that, you know, it's not every church. There are a lot out there that are friendly and they accept you for who you are and not for who they want you to be. I'm not the great role model as a Christian. If you see my crazy Facebook post or random Twitters, you know that I've got kind of a sick, twisted sense of humor. But my advice to you, and take it as you will, these words of my own, they're all I have to give you tonight. Find your own peace with religion. Find your own peace with God. Because we all have our time to die, and eventually you will come face to face with eternity. And one thing that I've kind of looked at over the years as far as religion goes, I don't care if you're Baptist, Methodist, Jewish, Pentecostal, whatever you are, God is like He's up here, He's a destination, and religion is just a roadmap on how you get there. You aren't at risk of being bitten by a vampire or a werewolf, that's fine. But you are at risk of not having it tomorrow. Some of you may not be happy with your life or where you are. You feel like maybe it's not going anywhere. Maybe you feel like you're too old. But Paul Brandt said, don't tell me that the sky's the limit when there are footprints on the moon. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't reach your goals. Don't ever let anybody hold you back. Because I learned, the only person that was really holding me back was myself. I listened to what people in my life were saying, and I had people that were disappointed in me when I left the church, and I've slowly started trying to find my way back to getting back into a ministry realm, because I really feel like that's where my calling is, and that's what's led me to write my book. Is I feel like that's what my ministry is, because I reach out to a lot of the GLBT community, because a lot of them, their parents kicked them out because they're disappointed in them. They lost faith in their kids because of who they are. But my advice to you is just find that peace within yourselves. And George Eliot said, one of my favorite quotes, "It's never too late to be what you might have been." I read that quote a few years ago, and it just really changed my life. I kind of felt like my life wasn't going anywhere, and so I just picked it up and said, hey, I'm going to do something with it. And now I've really reached a level of where I'm happy, and life's really awarded me a lot of fun opportunities, and I thank God every day that He has awarded me with that. And I'm really thankful for each one of you that are here tonight. And I'm wrapping up what I'm saying, so if the next speaker wants to go ahead and come on up. I just want you all to know that I don't know, I'm kind of one of those losses. I'm kind of embarrassed because I could share some of my story, but it's a spirit of humility, I guess. I'm not a very shy person. I do share a lot of my life's story, a lot of my life's experiences. But the one thing I have learned is life is way too short. Maybe you're having a fight with your parents. Maybe you're having a fight with a sibling. Just call them up on the way home. Right now I'm fighting with my cousin. I'm going to call her as soon as I finish and just tell her how much I love her. Because I can't imagine not having her tomorrow. Just having the opportunity to say, hey, I'm sorry. My cousin, the last time I was behind a pulpit was at my cousin's funeral. Our birthdays are a day apart, and his is on the 14th and mine's on the 15th of October. It's always my job to call him first, and this year it just happened to be fighting, and I didn't call him because I was upset with him. And I was just, I was just really mad. I just like, I'm not going to call him, and he didn't call me on my birthday, and he passed away the following week, and my biggest regret in life is not telling him I was sorry. And I really beat myself up over it. We went to his house, and we were packing up his things, and I found a Bible in his room, and he lived with my grandmother. And God really, I think He wanted me to go back there and do that, because I was cleaning up his room and packing up boxes, and I opened up his Bible, and there were pictures all throughout my life, pictures I'd sent my grandma from when I was in the Navy, from when I traveled working with conventions. And I never really realized what I meant to him. And I really wish that I could, just go back and say, hey, I'm sorry. But I can't, but I know that, just finding that gave me some sort of peace. And I don't even know why I'm telling this story. I just kind of feel led to tell it. But you never know. You may be a hero to somebody. You don't even realize it. So thank you guys so much for coming out. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. The VRO thanks you. And God bless you guys.
And that is what happens when over 20 of your favorite characters die on TV. You can tell he was inspired. All right, so it's not quite dark yet, so we're going to